Hi everybody, it's Kit again, and we're going to make one of the one-page projects this morning, and it's going to go along with the Project 50 little books that we made, if you remember and if you watched it. It's same size and will fit into your basket or holder, and just is a different format, but will give you the same feel as the Project 50. So I'm calling this one the Flap It. And the reason is because this one's not going to have any front pockets. Instead, we're going to use that extra space to create flaps inside on two of the page spreads. And these flaps can actually be flaps, or you can use some of the scraps to attach the edges to the page to create a little side pocket. But it's just a little bit different type venue, and it came about because, as you know, I like to challenge myself, and I wanted to see how many photos I could actually get into one of these little books. Because as I showed you before, these little Polaroids, which come from the Polaroid camera or the Fuji camera, which, by the way, you can use the same film in both. Polaroid, I guess, is the US version, and Fuji's the imported version. But if you buy the Fuji film, it's like half the price of the Polaroid film. And some reviews say it doesn't give as good as quality as the Polaroid. But I don't know. I haven't seen any big difference myself. So that's up to you to make that determination. The Fuji is cheaper though, just FYI. And this is the version that I used. I think I showed you this before. This is something you can do with these books. I used scraps to make this, so I really had more than a 12 by 12 because I wanted to use up some of these black and white scraps, and that's why I'll give you dimensions of each piece in case you want to go through and use scraps too instead of actually cutting up a 12 by 12. But what we're going to do today gives you the capability of having these fold outs, the little flaps we're going to create, so you can get up to, I think I counted 26 pictures into one of these little books by putting your photos back to back on the flaps. So let me give you the dimensions and the cutting so that you can get to work on your own to add to your collection. So we're going to cut first, and I'm going to use something you never see me use. It's a one-sided paper. This is from Party Day by Crepe Paper. And I picked up the pad because I actually wanted some of the prints that were in it that were going to go in my big flippin' folder, which is on my Etsy shop, by the way, too, if you're interested in it. But since I was going to be taping the mats down, I didn't care what the back looked like. So, but I'm going to try it for this because this gives me a pattern for mounting pictures on. And then the unprinted side, of course, I can do my journaling lines on. So we're going to try it and see what happens. First cut we're going to make, put your paper in top side facing up, facing that way, towards you. Hello. And we're going to make our first cut at 6 1/4. So that's going to give us a 6 1/4 side and a 5.75 side. So let's do 6 1/4 straight up. Then take your 6 1/4 side, turn it sideways, and we're going to cut 4 inches. My tripod leg is in the way. We're going to cut off 4 inches, 3.75, and 3.75. And the little strip that's left over is going to be used for our closure, and can also be used to tack down those flaps if you decide you just want them as pockets instead. So set that aside and take our 5 3/4 inch strip, and we're going to cut this at 3.75 all the way down. 3.75, 3.75, 3.75, and that's going to leave us, I'm turning it over because I got a little bit of shading on this end that I want to be on the page. I wouldn't do this if I had a directional, because then my directional would be upside down. But hello. So now we got all our pages. We got our 2 little strips for scraps. We're going to put away our cutting board. I'm going to get out our scoreboard. And we're going to score. Stack your pages up, and you're going to see that you have one page that's bigger than all the other pages. Okay? Take that one. It measures 6 1/4 by 4. This is going to be our cover piece, and we're going to put it in our scoreboard, and we're going to score it at 3 3 1/4. I hope this is in camera. I want to figure out how to film and watch what I'm filming at the same time on my laptop. I don't know how to do that. I've researched some online, and I still don't know how to do it. So, anybody knows how, please let me know. And there we go. This is our cover, okay? We've burnished in our spine. Now, you're going to have 2 more pieces left that measure 6 1/4 inches long. See, these others are only going to measure 5.75. So set those aside. Pull out your 6 1/4 long pieces. And we're going to score those at 2 1/2 and 5 1/4. Both of them. 2 1/2 and 5 1/4. Okay? Burnish those in whichever direction. Now, remember that this is going to be your spine here. Okay? Not this little flap. This will be your spine. Although, in the book I made, I did make this the spine just so this would have a big flip out. So just because I say don't do it doesn't mean don't do it. It just means for this purpose we're going to dress this as a spine, which will go down in our little book. But after you make one and have your prototype, then get creative. Do your thing. Okay, so we've got these done. I'll quit chatting and get moving. And by the way, I still have on my pajamas. I have a confession to make. I have been trying to tape all morning, and I thought, okay, well, the batteries are charging, I'll go get dressed. But what I did was started working on something else, and the batteries got charged, so I'm still in jammies. So if you're still in jammies too, let me know so I don't feel so bad. These are your 5.75 long pieces. And we're going to score that at 2.75, which is going to be a little off-centered because I want it that way. You can score at 2.875 and put it right down the middle, but I want these little tabs on my page, those little flappy flaps. So let's do it my way for right now, just so you can see the effect it has. And then if you don't like that, you can do whatever your little heart wants to do, because that's the way it should be. Okay, we've got our page inserts here. We've got our flaps, and we've got our cover. So there you go. Basically, your book is done. See, I told you that one would be fast and easy. All we have to do now, and I'm going to show you, because if you didn't watch the other video, well, where'd they go? My little pokey thing has absconded. Oh, there it is. I put it far away from me so it would be out of reach of me poking myself. This is our little pokey thing, and this is a pad that is used so that it won't go all the way through to the table. I'm just leaving it in the plastic. As you can tell, I pokey right through my plastic. So the first thing we're going to do, and again, you can measure if you want to. I would come down 3/4 of an inch from the two edges, right smack in the center of your spine. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I want my flaps to be in the middle. So that's where I'm going to put mine. You can put them wherever you want. You can do these pages in any order you want. But what I like to do, since I offset each little folder, is try to keep them offset somewhat in the book so that your pages are tabbing themselves more or less. So get the order you want them in. And if you're unlike me and you like all your edges neat and clean and in order, again, go back and when you, instead of scoring at the 2.75, score at the 2.875 and it'll put it right down the middle. But I like having these pages that kind of tab themselves as you flip through them, just to give it a little activity, a little variety, sense of adventure, you know what I mean. And we're going to work in order now and line these up on those holes and then make a mark. And I'm going to do it the right way just in case there are beginners watching. I usually just go for it. But if you make a little mark with your pencil, then stab it right on your spine on the pencil mark, like that, and stack it up in there, or put it in its own stack actually, because we're going to keep using this cover as the measuring tool. Do that with all your pieces. Mark with a pencil. Make all your little pokey holes. Very tempted just to, dare I do it? I have been known to do this too. You saw the proper way to do it. Now I'll show you how I've been known to do it. And that's on books that are just for me. Put all your pages in order. Use the page that you already have marked. Go through, try not to move your pages, and pokey hole all the way through. Done! Don't tell anybody I did that. Okay, put your pokey tool back in a safe environment. Keep it away from Kit, in other words. And what I have here, again, is crochet thread. Big old thing of it. I'm really using a lot of this lately because I just like it. It's a little heavier weight, but it's not as heavy as string. And a big eye tapestry needle, so it's easy to go through. And if you want your, let's talk about this now since we're going to do the spine. If you want your ties on the outside of your books, we're going to do it the way I'm going to show you. If you want a tie, you want your thread to tie off in the middle and put strings down, maybe like a bookmark page or whatever. Then you're going to go in through the middle and out and then back in. But I like to have these strings hanging off because I tie things on them. There's that musical note I showed you because I had to use the music washi tape to get me a 12 by 12 in the vanilla. And I just tied a little music note on it in the meantime, which I like danglies, so that's kind of cool. But I'm going to keep mine tying on the outside. So all you do is go through all your little pokey holes, all your little poked holes. If you're coordinated, you can do them all at the same time. I'm not. I get too much coffee today. My hands are shaking. Gosh. Oh, bear with me. Maybe it's because I still have on my jammies. I don't know. I feel indecent. Okay, was that the order I wanted? Yeah. If you can get them through all the first holes, then the other holes usually are just all lined up there. Dum-da-dum, that's not the order I wanted them in. But for display purposes, it'll work. Or demonstration purposes. I guess I'm not displaying myself, I'm demonstrating. Now all your little holes should line up unless you've strung them on backwards, which I've also been known to do. I feel like I should be singing or something. Hello, my friends, hello. No, we shan't sing, because that could just about ruin your day. There we go. All tied together. Come on out, little stringy. Pull the right tail out. Lately, I've been giving myself a lot of thread on my string because I don't have to rethread my needle. I can usually get 3 books out of my tails. And then tie it wherever you want. You could tie it at the top, tie it in the middle, put a nice bow on it, whatever. There we go. Now our book is intact, and let's count the pages just to be sure. One more book and then we'll have to rethread. Okay, there we are. There's our little book. And what you can do is you can put matting on if you use a print, you can put a mat down like I did on this. On these where I used the black and white scraps. Turn it towards you. I matted the pages. Now it's going to make your book really, really thick when you mat and then add pictures. So I made a sleeve because the closure that I was going to use on this, number one, interfered with my picture, and number two, I was afraid it wouldn't hold it. So I did a sleeve, and that's just wrapping, making a band, scoring it the width of your book on each end, and then gluing the edges together. So let's count our pages. To be sure, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You can get 26 of these little pictures or ATC cards. ATC cards would fit in here too. And on these flaps, you can just put your pictures back to back, and they'll flip in and flip out. And there you go. There's another little 3x4 journal mini album for your collection. So you can get a whole stack going like I do and use them for all kinds of things. The road trips, weekend trips, dance recitals. Be cute too for a newborn baby. Do one in just baby colors and put little wallet-sized photos in there or your Polaroids. So keep making them, and once you make them, you'll be encouraged to use them. So I would sit down, and they're so quick and easy to make. Just make a whole bunch in one shot, and you'll be encouraged to write in them and put photos in them and document your memories, because that's why we do this, is so that one day our kids can look back and see what all we did, what kind of person we were, things we like to do, remember what we look like. One other thing I'm going to show you real quick too is I finished up my year album that I wanted to show you because it's all done. This was from last year. And this is the envelope mini that's in my Etsy shop. And I have been trying to send photos. Everybody that ordered one of these to make, ordered the tutorial. I've been trying to keep them updated on photos. But what I do with these, every month I go in and put something in it. Pictures, just a weekend trip to a winery. It's not made to document a whole vacation, because you need a journal to do that in itself. It's just made to put something every month in, and if you do have a very busy month, which last year was a very busy year for me, I just added more flips to the little slide ends. So this is really just a flip to show you what all can be done with that. It's hard to see the actual base book, but this is what I love. I love to see what people do with their books, because it seems like to me a lot of people just make them and then don't use them. And to me it's kind of sad, because that's the purpose of them, is to use them. You know, just add pictures in for no reason, just because you're holding a grandbaby, or just because, or you picked up a postcard at St. Pete Beach, you know, just throw a picture in there and do a little bit of journaling, and that way you kept up with your whole year. And again, it's not made, if you use it for this purpose, just try to put something every month in it, like a little daily or a little monthly bullet. So that's what mine looks like now. It's all done. And I've got my whole year in there with just either one or two photos of weekend trips, vacations. I just put a couple photos in. Girls' little trips that we did. Oh, and it also tells you how to make this little book too, because I like little books. She needed an adventure, so she imagined not only one, but a whole year's worth. And together with her friends, her year was great. And I put a little picture of me in there. She needed a hero. She needed a hero. Oops. So that's what she became. This is not the end. That's just my shenanigans. Okay? You need to do your own shenanigans. But this is made to clip inside, but my inside got so thick that I am now clipping it on the outside, like that. So there's that too. So I hope all that was in camera, and I'm going to try to get something else done. I'm working on some little books too for the one-page project. So I'm going to get those done, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great day.